guests today are Tim Blunt, the Director of Technology and Strategic Programs for AT&T Public Sector, and Lance Spencer, a Client Executive Vice President, also for AT&T Public Sector. Tim, Lance, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jason.
We talked a lot about the changes in culture, the acquisition side, the user side. Let's talk about the technology side for a second. And many people believe, well, the technology is always the easier part, right? We've seen this before. It's being done. I think, Lance, you mentioned the fact that this is being done at Fortune 500 companies, and Tim brought up the fact that this is commercial technology, but the technology side is still not easy. So maybe walk me through a little bit about the challenges on the technical side and how has AT&T helped the Air Force overcome them?
So this being a risk reduction effort versus a production delivery changes the answer for an RRE versus how I envision production happening. In the risk reduction effort, it's been very important for the Air Force to understand how we go about doing it. So we've pulled the curtain back a lot more on how we're delivering our capabilities and our solutions. So the Air Force has more visibility into how do we provide and provision the service. What's been very helpful is, in many cases, AT&T is the top customer for a lot of the IT vendors out there. So we work very intimately from concept to development, putting together the components of what ultimately becomes a solution and a capability, working hand in hand with that broad IT vendor community. And those alliances are really important. In some cases, the products that are being built and sold through the market were developed for us to meet where we're driving our roadmaps as well. It is vital. I think that trust is going to become more and more important, though. And I think that, while they need to understand what they're getting and how they're getting it, and there needs to be accountability, at the same time, they need to trust us. And we're providing a commercial global capability, and that's up and running already. And I think that the mutual learning that we're working through the RRE is going to be pivotal to that, is that trust thing, so that they know that our certifications, our processes, our cybersecurity, our clean supply chain, all of the things that we see we have, they've been exposed to in the risk reduction, so that when they get to a production kind of delivery, that trust factor is there.
And one of the beauties of moving towards this enterprise IT as a service, this network as a service, is the use of software-defined networking. And as you said, a lot of the network already is based on SDN technology, and that makes those upgrades a lot easier. That makes those changes, those security patches, those security, hey, we have a new vulnerability, here's how we address that, makes it a lot easier. To me, the key here is SDN in many regards. Is that the way the Air Force is starting to realize it as these risk reduction bases are coming up?
I think they are. So there's some key things to SDN and software-defined technologies, I think. It can't be a singular capability on a piece of equipment. It really has to be something that's orchestrated and operates across the enterprise to deliver the services that you need. It's easy to buy a piece of equipment that's SDN enabled. It's a very different thing to operationalize that and deliver it at scale. And I think that's really part of the magic of the enterprise IT as a service effort, is you're gaining the benefits of not only world-class technology and equipment, but you're getting it delivered in an operational environment, so that you have confidence in the delivery of the actual customer experience that their Air Force is looking for.
The Air Force is definitely pleased and impressed with the software-defined network and services. Being able to, as you said, to upgrade things, whether it be cybersecurity, whether it be network devices, versus with software versus making hardware changes, is definitely an advantage. There's also a lot of talk about zero trust, and this is how you start to get after the zero trust environment that the Air Force is hoping to get after. But I think one of the other major benefits is because of the software-defined nature of the services and the commercialization of the services, you can do a lot of the management remotely. So having remote managed services where you can tweak things or configure things and not have to be on location is also very helpful, and will help with some of the manpower concerns that they're trying to get after. And as we scale this out, it would clearly be less manpower intensive because of the technologies of orchestration and a lot of the automation based on some of these software defined services.